And if I had a rubber band or something, I might try to start to change the orientation. Or sometimes if you get lucky, you can do this with your smoker and melt a little wax there and get it stuck on there.
Cool. Multi-purpose tool.
Okay.
Perfect. Look at architecture and all.
Now, get the feeder out so that I can.
Do you need to move it back down again to get that out?
I think I can wiggle it out. Here we go. Alright, so I'll come back later today and I'll refill this with sugar syrup, right? Alright. And that'll help bring them along. But we haven't started, so that's the hard part. Getting bees started in top bar hive is the trickiest part.
Something they don't like to do?
I found it's a more challenging format to work in. So
What's the advantage?
the advantage is you can work at waist level. You can harvest honey by cutting it off, okay, and then putting it back, and they rebuild comb.
Gotcha.
It's really hard to work though in a traditional sense because you have nothing to stabilize the comb. So when you're trying to evaluate it, you're literally like this, and that's all you can do.
Yeah, and you can't touch anything.
And not only will they cross comb and orient their comb 90 degrees to what you'd prefer sometimes, but even when they're building it like this, they don't necessarily just attach one comb to one top bar. They'll sometimes do that, right? So you have to constantly get in and enforce spacing and correct them.
So on the other ones,
For me, it's too much of a pain in the neck to do this commercially, right? You can't really get any productivity out of it in terms of more bees and queens. It's really fun to watch, though, right?
So you have some kind of plastic grid or something that starts the ones in that other that we were looking at? It's in the
Plastic grid. I just have wax foundation typically.
You have a wax
Sometimes I use plastic foundation, but not very often. Most of the combs that I get with with plastic foundation were bought from other beekeepers. If I'm gonna
put this back in there?
No, that's just a shipping cage for the package that was used to start the hive. I don't need it in here anymore. And I'll come back and give this some sugar syrup after I mix some up.
Where's the entrance on this thing? On your side?
Yeah, right over here. As it grows and gets bigger, I'll go ahead and pull more corks down here and give them more entrance.
frames in the other one pretty well.
Pardon me?
Seems like they stick to the frames in the other boxes that we
Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about them misorienting things nearly as much. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm going to let you all take a turn at lifting combs out of the hive in this one.
What's that fancy piece for, Sugar?
Is that a question? I'm sorry, I missed it.
What's that fancy part for that you're holding in your hand?
This is an inner cover, okay? When you put a telescoping cover on like this, it's important to have an inner cover because they need to have the ability for air, water vapor to escape the hive, okay? And they'll glue that down solid to the top of your frames, and it's really hard to get it off because unlike the migratory style cover, you can't come in from the side with your hive tool and pry it loose. All right, now, look at that. What do we see in this hive? Somebody evaluate this colony for me, just by that. Just look down there.
Packed with
Tons
bees.
of bees.
Yeah,
Packed
it's like, it's what we wanted.
And they're looking for a
So
queen.
why is this one looking so good and that one over there looking so bad?
You fed this one.
That's right. Okay, so we kept it going, all right, and they were able to take what little resources that this colony was struggling to survive on and turn that into growth, just because I gave them that baseline nutrition last go around
Where did you put it?
in this feeder.
In that's a feeder, okay.
How much do you put in? the first
This
time?
feeder will hold almost 1.5 gallons. The thinner black plastic feeders I actually prefer because this one's a little too big. See how all the frames are pretty much, you know, jammed in jelly tight.
So the one that's going to come with the nukes that we're taking home today,
Uh-huh.
we will fill it up with the sugar water?
For the nuke, you probably only need to give it about half full,
Halfway?
okay? And then come back and you'll probably feed it at least one more time,
Okay.
and that time fill it up.
Okay.
But you'll know by the growth of the hive what you need to do for it.
Okay.
If you come back after that first half feeding and they've drawn out all the foundation and they've got white comb, fresh comb, they're making honey. You don't need to worry about feeding them again.
Okay.
All right? Okay, so this is your chance to grab a hold of the hive tool. And were you paying attention to what I was doing when I was taking combs out before? Just as a refresher, this is the first step, right? Choke up on the hive tool, get down there and break the comb loose. All right? Then grab it with your fingers and lift it straight up. Who's first? You okay? You end
Yeah,
up with
I
a
just
bee in
had-
your veil? Did you
No,
get stung?
I had an itch in my eye, and I've been trying to scratch it through the veil.
Can I
but it's
just
not
reach
working.
in, or do I?
You need to come over here where I am. You need to come stand over here. It's way too hard to try to work on the far side of the hive unless you have to.
All right. And what do I do? Just
No,
You already
it's
broke
it's
it.
already broken loose. So really, all you should have to do is just reach in there and grab it gently.
okay.
Pull up slowly. There you go,
Nice.
like that.
Very good.
Good work. Okay. So talk to me about what you see there. What do we got?
You seem satisfied. Seem
Yep.
calm.
Yeah, they do.
They're
They
not-
seem very calm.
We got honey
Yes.
right through there.
Yes, I see it.
Okay. Do you feel it? Do you feel the
I
weight?
do. I feel the weight.
Okay. Remember that you can evaluate the strength of your colony, at least the nutritional status of your colony, if you will, by coming to it and lifting it. I mean, you can literally tell, you know, oh, yeah, it's doing fine.
Can you see?
Just by that, right? Just because if it's heavy, all right? So good work. All right, who's next?
Wow.
Put it back in.
Put it back in. Bring it all the way to the sidewall on this side. There you go. I like how you're doing that. Nice and gentle. Very gently. Okay, now tuck it in. Pull it back towards you. Pull it back towards you. Pull it back towards you. Keep coming. Let go of it. And use the hive tool to get it a little closer to the sidewall. All right? Do it like this. Do it like this. Okay?
Okay.
Who's going to pull the next one out? We'll talk
Is
about that comb
is
too.
that too tight?
Nope, you're fine. Look how many bees we've kept from getting to the hive here, just by standing right there. See all these? So y'all kind of move around from the front of the hive. There you go. Come on, you can get right in there.
Need to break this one loose, or you
Yes, yes. It's all on you.
Wedge it in there.
You'll feel it when it. There, that's.
She is so precise. Her dad was a surgeon. Just like it.
genetics. Can't take
All
any
right.
credit for that.
All right, talk to me about what you got when you get ready.
See some cells.
I'm liking how you're doing this. See, this is how I do it. If you're capable of doing it this way, this is perfect. If you never have your hive tool out of your hand, but if you need to, you can stick it in your pocket right here, right?
Okay.
So it's handy.
So I see some covered cells and I see some larvae down in open cells.
Okay, so you know you've probably got a queen, right? Do you see how young is the larva? See any eggs?
Some of them look pretty advanced.
Okay. See any young ones?
I see some of the ones that are in clear liquid down in the bottom.
Okay, so that's first instar, second instar larva, something like that?
Yeah, but I don't
Okay.
see any of the little eggs.
Okay, let's look at the other face. What do you have here?
A lot more covered. A lot more little larvae.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much brood all the way across, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got a little bit of
And
pollen
these all
around the
seem
margins?
To be almost all the same age.
Okay.
Like, look at all the little larvae down in the bottom. They're all very similar in size.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys feel free to pass the whole comb around if you want, like we've been doing. Got it? Whoa, careful, careful. Nothing like putting my hives in a challenging position for the audience. I apologize for that.
How do you deal with fire ants?
Sometimes in the summertime they can get to be a real pain. When it gets really dry and they don't have anything else to forage on, they can start foraging on your hive. Conversely, if you see it, if you see in the early winter or late winter, early spring, if you see a fire ant mound mounded up against the side of your colony, that's usually a good sign.
A good sign.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing?
The fire ants are parasitizing the colony's heat. They're drawn to the strongest hive in the yard.